Did the rules change regarding this Mandalorian tool in the Season 3 finale, or is there an explanation hidden in plain sight? There have been many major battles across The Mandalorian and its multiple seasons, but few of them can match the scale and intensity of the Battle of Mandalore in the Season 3 finale episode. As Din Djarin and Grogu have their climactic confrontation with Moff Gideon, so too do Din's fellow Mandalorians engage in their own big fight to retake their home planet once and for all. It all makes for another epic Star Wars battle, aside from one tiny problem. One part of the on-screen skirmish doesn't really make sense to some fans. Throughout the battle, audiences see various characters, particularly Axe Woves and his fellow Mandalorian fighters, using jetpacks for traversal. This isn't anything new for the show, as a previous episode of The Mandalorian also saw characters employing jetpacks. However, the exact manner in which this piece of gear is used in the finale may conflict with an important bit of information that may have been established in the series just a few episodes prior. During the Season 3 finale of The Mandalorian, Axe Woves uses a jetpack to manually fly into space and later propel himself back to Mandalore's surface. Considering the show's sci-fi trappings, there's not much of an issue with that plot point, or at least there wouldn't be if it didn't seem to violate the in-universe rules that The Mandalorian had set for itself earlier in the very same season. Back in Season 3, Episode 4 of The Mandalorian, it seems to be established that jetpacks in the Star Wars universe can only be used to carry their users a relatively short distance. If that's true, it makes sense to add such a limitation to what would otherwise be a pretty overpowered piece of gear, especially as the story required a reason that the group couldn't simply pursue their prey with jetpacks. Granted, it seemed like the bigger problem was the noise that the jetpacks would make.
The mountains are too high. If we use jetpacks, the beast will hear.
Either way, they didn't clarify exactly how far the jetpacks could take them if fully fueled up. The problem for some fans is that this seeming limitation is tossed out the window in the Season 3 finale. According to them, Axe Woves shouldn't be able to take himself all the way up into space with a Star Wars jetpack, let alone still have the fuel to fly out of the ship before it crashes to the surface. All in all, if it is a continuity error, it's a fairly minor one that doesn't really affect the overall quality of the battle or the episode. Some die-hard fans of The Mandalorian also took notice of the apparent discrepancy in the use of jetpacks during the Season 3 finale, as one Reddit user put it in their list of issues with the episode. The jetpacks limitation was a pretty big issue in a previous Foundling episode, but now someone can just hit low orbit with no problem. Nonetheless, one fan has pushed back on the critique by offering a theory that could possibly explain why the jetpacks in the Season 3 finale seem to be so much more powerful compared to the ones featured in Season 3 Episode 4. The fan suggests that there might be a difference in build quality between the jetpacks used by the Children of the Watch and the ones used by Axe Woves and his fellow Mandalorians. They wrote, "I'm thinking the Children of the Watch group were making do with whatever they could find, building their equipment in a cave with a box of scraps. By contrast, the Mandalorian Resistance had access to regular society and would naturally be able to take advantage of better tools and equipment. Another answer could be that they simply had more fuel prepared for the battle in contrast to getting taken unprepared by the Raptor before they could top off the tank. Neither theory has been explicitly confirmed, leaving fans to make up their own minds about whether this is a continuity error or simply a subtle bit of storytelling."